Mitch, how do you describe the confidence you got with your shot right now? You see 4 goals going in 5 games.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, have been all kind of different ways, but I'm just trying to find myself in good areas and having players make plays to me as well that I can finish off.
Some of the guys said they were surprised that you shot on that 2-on-1 in overtime. What did you see? When did you kind of make that call?
I don't know. I mean, I just tried to look to see how much time we had behind us, and then kind of just looked up, saw that I had the far side, and kind of when I looked back to John, I started seeing Bouchard wanted to slide at me and get a stick down. So, yeah, I saw the opening, tried to take it, and lucky enough it worked out.
You said those were kind of the games you live for. What's the most fun about a night like that for you?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, it's a very good team over there. So they have a lot of skilled players on the team that can do a lot of things, and it's a high energy game, a lot of back and forth, and I don't know. It's just it's a fun one to be a part of.
What did you think of the 5 games that Ryan got?
I mean, it's the league's decision. So, like I said, you never like to see someone get injured like that or hurt like that, and the league thought what they thought.
He always is pumping you guys up, even when he's a scratch, like when you're going out there and the handshakes. How would you describe the impact he makes, even when he's not in the lineup?
Yeah, it's great. He brings energy every single day, and that's something you really appreciate about Revo. So, yeah, you're thankful for that.
You're not super close. How's he handling just being out this long? It's supposed to be a day-to-day thing, and it's over 2 weeks now.
Yeah, it's never easy. I mean, like we always talk about, us athletes don't like to sit out and miss games. So, I've talked to him about it. I'm just trying to keep his mentals and mind space good, and obviously he wants to be out there with us as badly as we want him out there. So he's trying to figure out everything he can to try to get back as quick as possible. Oh, he's a great kid. A lot of fun to be around. Really respectable. Treats others with a great amount of class and respect, and that's something you really appreciate. So obviously he works extremely hard as well. It's been good just catching up with him through today, really, about just how he's been doing down there and how he's playing. So, yeah, it's good to see him up here and great to see him out there with us.
Max is obviously going through 13 games. What have you seen from him? He's obviously had to step up, Boston out.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done a great job. I think his role is definitely obviously added with Austin being out. I think for that moment there we were playing together. Obviously, we're playing against a lot of great players and great lines, so you're trying to make the most of that and also not turn over pucks that are going to probably result in the back of your net. So, everyone has to buy into the role. Obviously, we know Max will get going here eventually. It's not a nervous thing at all. It's not, you're not nervous for that situation. He'll get going, and he's been putting in the work in, and he's been playing a great defensive game as well, which you love to see.
Based on that social media video the team put out, it sounds like you're a big Taylor Swift fan. Are you caught up in the excitement around?
Yeah, I don't know how that got. I'm not. Yeah, probably Max or Mo are the biggest, I'd say, to be honest. I knew her couple first albums, and then after when I was at the concert, I was like looking at my wife, being like, I don't know any of these songs, and I was trying to see if she did. We got really blessed with like the piano and guitar song she picked. I didn't know either of those either. But you got to give her respect to Taylor. I mean, what she does for that show is pretty remarkable. 3.5 hours, just nonstop, changing a bunch of outfits. Just hearing the loudest in that stadium was insane as well. So, that's something that I think you do kind of get appreciation out of. But yeah, not the biggest Swiftie. I used to maybe be back in the day.
And finally, we're getting close to the end of Movember. Like, how would you assess your progress here?
Just working hard on it and seeing how it goes. Yeah, obviously Movember is a pretty important thing. Yeah, my wife was the one that actually said I should get it going. So, giving it all I got, but it's not much.
Do you have any regrets?
No, loves it. Yeah. But no, it's it's an important month. I think you see a lot of guys around the league, a lot of guys in here trying to show off that Movember, that stash. So, it's for a good cause.
Reaction to the 5 games that Ryan got for the hit.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ryan's intentions to play the game hard and physical, and obviously to play it fairly. Obviously, a tough circumstances, and I know it wasn't his intention. So I think we all felt it couldn't have been a little shorter, but obviously the league's going to do what they feel is best to keep the game safe and protect guys. But we felt it was a little high. But we'll stick behind him, and we know how effective he's been for us. How well he plays on that line on the physical side of it, and playing physical and clean. Being an impact that way. So obviously tough circumstances, and I know he'll do what he's got to do to be ready when he gets back.
Some of the guys were saying they were a little surprised that Mitch shot on that 2-on-1 in overtime. What were you thinking?
Yeah, Mitch, he told me after he was a little surprised himself. So I was definitely ready for it coming. So just knowing his ability to create passing lanes, draw people to him, and find holes and seams and whatnot. But he just had an overall great game, and just was I think locked in the zone. And you can just sense it even on the play. He was just focused on doing what was right, and that was obviously the shot. Caught their goaltender in a tough spot and just put in a great location. Great to see it go in, especially after a great defensive play by him.
What can you say about just what he's played this season? Stepped up with Austin out, and obviously there's a lot of attention on him in the city, attention on his future. But just how we see him through 20 games here.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of talk about all that, but he's just continuing to be himself. I think he's been such a good player for us over his whole career, and certainly since I've been here. Plays in all situations. Is such a factor with and without the puck. Tremendous hockey sense. Just one of the smartest players in the game, I think. So just continues to play great and being a difference maker in key situations, key times, and great to see him get a big one the other night.
How much confidence should he have in his shot? He's always talked about being more of a shot threat. He's such a good playmaker, but what do you see in his shot?
Well, I think you want to be as much as you can to be a dual threat option, and naturally you have certain instincts that come first and foremost, and are strengths of your game. But that doesn't mean the poise and the hockey IQ can't be used for not just having a really good shot, but how he's able to wait goalies out, create holes. His timing. I think he showed that on the goal the other night, just when he released that puck and able to pick a corner like he did. So all those factors, there's no doubt he can be a really elite goal scorer. I think he showed a couple of years ago, almost got to 40. So it's definitely there. And I think as any offensive player, you want to be as much as a dual threat as you can. I think it makes you harder to defend, harder to play against, and you can produce more. And just be that much more of a difference maker.
Did you get an explanation for why there was no penalty for when your stick got knocked away there? Like, how frustrating was that in the moment?
It was very frustrating because obviously they tied the game because, it's easy for me to say because of it, but obviously it eliminates a player from the situation, especially when you're down a man on a 5-on-6 situation. So yeah, it's frustrating. But I think the refs are trying to do the best job they can. So, hopefully they recognize that what happened on the play, and if it happens again, it gets called. And especially, it happened to us a couple games ago as well. So it was an intense game. It was a hard-fought game. Earn ourselves the lead late. We want to close those out. So circumstance like that, yeah, it's frustrating. But you got to regroup and refocus and deal with the calls and move on from it and go out there and do the job the best you can. And happy we were able to pull it out.
Max is going through it a little bit now. What have you seen from him, and what gives you confidence he can bring? I know he's got battling something injury-wise, but what do you see from him right now, and how he can get through it?
Yeah, I think he's just got to keep playing. Whether there's things going on physically or not, you have to continue to just stay with good habits, doing the right things, and I try to look at tilting the game in your favor and just setting yourself up for success. Shift after shift, whether that's always you're making a great play or a play that leads to a scoring chance, or you're just letting good things build throughout the night that eventually led to opportunities and results and things like that. So obviously a very important player for us. He's just got to continue to stick with it. I think he's doing lots of good things. Doesn't need to force it. He's such a smart player. So no doubt it'll come around for him.
Mitch is confident on the ice. He's not as confident in what he's got going on his upper lip there. He said it was his wife's idea. Like, have you ever been, interested in getting in the Movember game?
I think I had it a few years ago when I was in New York. Maybe I should. I don't know. Yeah, Mitchie's. It's not the prettiest, that's for sure. So, but I don't know. Maybe next year I'll give it a run.
From Fraser, he's hit with the team a bit last year, but have you seen his game grow through camp and last season?
Yeah, obviously I haven't really seen him play this year, but we spent a little bit of time in the summer together. I think it's just his hockey IQ, his knowledge for the game is exceptional, and he's got a drive that comes with that. So his ability to continually be very, very much aware of what's around him, what's going on, things on the ice, things off the ice, I think is really going to help him in his development. So obviously a great opportunity for him now to come up and take advantage of being with us again. Obviously he's got so much potential, and there's a lot of belief in his time here going forward. So we're excited about that. I'm excited for him. Obviously become a good friend. Kids ask him about him all the time, so they want to know. So now that he's back with the guys, they'll be pumped about that. So it's been a lot of fun getting to know him and seeing just that side of him and a lot of the young guys. I think for me, that's where I'm at. It's pushing me, motivating me, any of our young players and their passion for the game and their excitement, especially to be around the team and what they bring and to learn from that. So, excited for them.
How would you describe the hole that you'll have to fill with the camp out?
Yeah, no, he's done a great job for us with penalty kill and situations, and yeah, we'll miss him. Mitten's up here though, smart player. He was playing well in the minors, and I think he's the right guy up here right now.
What's your level of concern with your best player having to go across an ocean to get looked at by a doctor, Craig?
I'm not concerned at all. I know Tree talked to you guys about that already, so I got nothing to say about it. Yeah, well, he's sitting there. I mean, for sure. I think, we got to discuss, it's important to win that draw as much as we can, right, and clear the puck. So we're going to discuss that and see what the best option there. But for sure, he's a big part of the PK, and he's going to be a big part tomorrow.
How seriously, if at all, have you thought about trying Mitch Marner as center?
I talked to Mitch the other day about it, actually. He said, no problem, whatever you want. He's smart enough for sure. And I know he's played some D here too in the past, so I think he can play all positions. But no, it's definitely an option if we need it. I think he's a guy that can go in there and understand the positioning and what to do. I guess you have to worry about face-offs a little bit and things like that, but he's definitely a guy that we can use there for sure.
I don't want to say how much easier is that for a coach, but kind of it is. Like when you have a guy you're throwing over, can do all those things.
Yeah, and Willie too. Willie, if you guys watch, and Willie takes a lot of face-offs, and he's done a great job there. And it's important that it's nice having two guys in each line that can take face-offs. That's for sure. As much as guys get kicked out of draws, and it's probably more 5-on-5 than situational play with PK and power play. But it's nice to have another guy who can go in there and take that draw.
Mitch gets a lot of love for his playmaking. What stands out to you about his ability to be a goal scorer?
Yeah, well, yeah, he has the ability. It was a great shot the other night. I mean, well placed, and yeah, we talk a little bit. I talked to him about shooting a little bit more at times, but I get it. He's a passer and always been a passer, but at the same time, we need guys when they get the opportunities in real good spots, they need to shoot.
Is it easier for him to do that, you think, when he's not playing with Austin?
It could be. I think, anybody who plays with Austin is probably looking for him a little bit more than normal.
Yeah.
And probably too much at times, in my opinion. But he's looking for JT too, who's the scorer, right? So in the end, you make plays that are there, and when you have opportunities in good areas to shoot, you should shoot.
The points aside, or the lack of points aside, where's Max's game at right now?
Well, Max is, he's fighting through a lot right now, playing through some, he's banged up, but, I'm not overly concerned. I think we got to keep working through it, and we're trying to get him to, get to the hard areas a little bit more of the ice and get some goals there. Like we put him in the bumper on the power play in the second unit last game just to get him in that middle of the ice, and he's got a good shot. And I have full belief in Max that he'll be fine. He'll come around, and once one goes in for him, it'll come.
You say he's going through things. If there was not as many forward injuries, would he maybe
Like
take
could
a sit
possibly,
down?
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
You know, it's always a discussion with him and see where he's at and how he's feeling and things like that. So, yeah, that's for sure.
What challenge does Vegas present for you tomorrow?
Well, they score a lot of goals. I mean, their power play is second in the league right now. So, and they're scoring. They're a heavy team, big team. They control play in the offensive zone really well, and they got a real good decor back there. They're all 6'2" probably and bigger. You know, we're going to have to work. We're going to have to really battle and work in the offensive zone, and they got a good rush game. So, led by their top guy Eichel, a very good player. So, it'll be a challenge for sure.
What sort of impact can Ryan make even when he's not out of the lineup? We see him; he's still like high-fiving the guys when he's going.
Yeah,
out.
Revo's a great team guy. We all know that. Been around a long time, and he's great to have on the team. I'll tell you that. You know, I put him on D today just to add, you know, get 8D in there. I think it's good for him too. A lot more puck touches back there and moving the puck and things like that. And we got to keep him ready for when he's back.
Seems like Alex Dees is no longer around the lineup. What do you hope to see from him over this stretch?
He brings energy and work. You know, like, you know, he's a worker and he brings good energy, and he has the ability to score some goals around the net. Like, you know, that's what he does in the minors. And, he, you know, before he's called up, he was having a real good season down there, as he has in the past. So we're going to need him. And, you know, he, like I said, he's a worker and got to be competitive and get to the net and, you know, do some good things there and be responsible defensively.
Austin, an update on Austin. And we haven't been trying to be cryptic with all this stuff. You know, we've been calling him day to day because that's what he's been. He has, you know, we've looked at the schedule here, and what we're trying to do is use this week to hopefully get this thing behind him. As part of that, he and our doc foreman went over to Germany to see a doc that he's used in the past, more as a general checkup, but also to get some work done on his thing. It's not alarming. It was something we've been discussing, knowing that he's going to be getting this week. But we're hopeful that once we get through the week here, he'll be back up and skating, and his return to play would be after that. So, again, nothing new. There's been no setbacks. Everything's been actually going quite well. We're just trying to use the days that we've got here with less games being played to just try to get this behind us.
Has he done any off-ice work?
Yeah. He's been doing off-ice regularly.
Is there anything you can tell us beyond upper body or about the nature of what he's dealing with?
No, and really, Mark, I'm protective of our players. I don't think we want to share as much as we can, but anything that may put the player at jeopardy, I'm not going to do that. There's not surgery. There's not any speculation like that. You know, like I said, I think we're in a good spot here where we're getting beyond it, and we're going to try to use this time, you know, to get this behind us.
Is there a goal in mind then, Brad, for his return?
Yeah, we're kind of well, I mean, we play Sunday. Is it that? Maybe not, and then potentially, I think we're in Florida. I think we go to Florida after that. Is that what we do? Yeah. So that's sort of where I feel more comfortable. Maybe Sunday, but probably after that on the road.
What did you think of the length of the Reeves suspension?
Yeah, you know what, Mark? Hey, listen. First of all, you never want to see anybody injured, and it was one of those where I have. There's no doubt in my mind. There's no intent on Ryan's part. He's going in to make a hit. It's a hockey play that goes wrong, right? If you look, and there's been lots of talk, I know, but he leads with a stick. He's going into forecheck, and there's contact that's made. That tie into that one, but I'm not going to sit here and bicker about a game here and there. Like I said, at no point do I think Ryan any intent for that to happen. It didn't end up the way we wanted to, and I understand the league's position.
Did you consider appealing?
Excuse me?
Did you consider appealing?
Well, that's up to the player, but I don't anticipate that's that.
How's Austin holding up without being?
We've got the long game in mind here, so he's doing well. He's been doing all his workouts and all that stuff, so wants to play. I mean, that's what he does, right? So, but he'll be back hopefully, like I said, soon here in the not too distant future.
What do you like how your group has rallied without him? And you know, there's obviously
Yeah.
down the middle, but.
Well, thin down the middle, but we've got lots of guys that can play center. If you look at it here right now, we've got a lot of centers out, but you've got guys, Dewar, Lawrence, you know, that can play. We brought Minton up. David, you know, David's going to miss Wednesday's game. Might be we'll see how he is. He may be an option for Sunday. But I think we've got lots, you know, there's lots of guys that can play the position, which we're lucky. Max has jumped in there for a while. We're going to see Fraser. So yeah, I like the guys you know, nobody's going to feel sorry for you in the league, and injuries are they're part of the NHL. And if you can't sustain them, you're probably not going to have a whole lot of success. So I like how our guys have rallied around, and you know, we've been able to put some points on the board.
What do you make of Mitch's elevation here of late? And he scored in 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
John was just saying he's almost scored 40 once in the league. What sort of growth do you think he as a goal scorer in this league?
Well, I mean, he's, like I said, I've heard he's a star in the league. Like, he's a special player, special player. You can do it all, and you're seeing him right now. In a lot of ways, he's putting the team on his back. And but there's not too many guys that can do it on both sides of the puck. He can check. You saw the play in the overtime the other day. 2 pretty good players coming down on a 2-on-1. Thought the best move was to close your eyes and pray. He made a hell of a play, and then finishes it off. It just shows you what he can do. It's a special player.
With all the injuries at forward that you have.
I can't even see who's back there.
Sorry.
Oh, that's Luke. Okay.
Yeah. With all
The lights.
with all the injuries at forward, how aggressive would you say that the trade market is? I mean, we saw Lars Eller move. Like, are those discussions happening now? With you
Well,
guys?
are you asking me, am I making trade calls? I'm probably not going to share that, Luke. We've got a chance also to see the kind of depth we have here, right? So Fraser gets an opportunity. Steves is up. He's going to get an opportunity. There's some other guys down on the Marlies. Marlies off to a good start. So this is where your organizational depth gets tested. We like that we have depth. I'll repeat that. Some people think that it's not a good thing. We think it's good. So we like that we have depth, and now it's showing. So you always have conversations and all the rest of it, but you know, this gives other people an opportunity to see, like I said, see what we've got in the organization.
What stands out about What stands out to you about Minton's potential?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I would have preferred to leave him down there for a little bit longer, just to stabilize. I think you got to be careful, especially with young guys, bumping them up and down. He's coming off the injury. But he's had a great start. He's a smart player. I mean, what jumps out, you know, is just his hockey IQ. He's you know, he talks on the bench like a coach, and you've seen that even in the start that he's had with the Marlies. He's really intelligent, sees the ice, knows the game. Like I said, it's a tough injury to get over. He missed a lot of time, but he's been off to a great start down there. So we'll give him a look-see here, and we think he's got a great future in front of him.